Okay, we're recording, and this is the Math 700B Unit 5 practice test, and this is our last practice test of the semester. So we've got 15 questions today. Let me get get a pen, and you guys should have pencil and paper, maybe a calculator, and let's see what color. We'll go with purple today. Make sure this is working. Yep. And to draw the net of a cone, you would use a wedge, yeah, and two circular bases. No, a cone only has one circular base. There's my cone. So one circular base. So I will go faults. Pyramids and cones have an apex. Yeah, there's an apex on the cone and a pyramid's an apex, so true to that. A triangle pyramid has a total of 3 faces. Well, nope. It's going to have that, that, and this back side. And then it's got a triangular face on the bottom, too. So I think it's going to have 4. So I'll say false there. And now we get into some math questions. Beyond true and false. Well, this is a true and false. If all the dimensions of a cube are multiplied by 5, the volume of the cube will change by a factor of 125. And that's true because it's cube, and so we cube the thing, we multiply it's. So let's just try it. So there's my little cube, and I'm going to make this cube 1 by 1 by 1 by 1, 1 by 1 by 1 by 1. So the height is 1, the width is 1, and the depth is 1. And so the area would be 5, or the volume would be 5 cubed. And now let's multiply those by 5, so now it's 5 by 5 by 5. And so this is 5. And now it would be 125. With the volume would be is length times width times height. So the volume is 125. So we went from a volume of 1 to a volume of 125. So that's a factor of 125. That's true. Because we're cubing things. And 5 cubed, because it's 5 times, is 125. 5 times 5 times 5, 5 cubed. Okay, the length of a rectangular prism is 1.5 feet. So a rectangular prism, that's just a box. Don't get fooled by these words. So rectangular, whoops. There's my rectangular prism. The length is 1.5. I'll put it here, 1.5. The width is 7. Put 7 there. And the height is 6.2. That's there. So the surface area. So we want to know all of these. So we've got a front and a back. Front and a back you can't see. And those are 6 by 2 by 7. So 6 by 2 by 7 is 6.2 times 7 is 4. And 6 times 7 is 42 plus 1 is 43. And then we have one decimal spot. So 43.4. And okay, I'm having a hard time drawing right there. Okay, now let's do this area here. And there's 2 sides. And the sides are 6 by 2 by 1.5. And I'll do those up here. 6.2 by 1.5. That's 0. 5 times 6 is 30. And I carried a 1. So 31. Space holder. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 6 is 6. So that's going to be 0, 3, 9. And I got to move it over 2, 0, 3, 9. I got to move it over 2 spaces, so that one is 9.30. and I have 2 of those, so I'm going to multiply that by 2. And then the last one are the top and the bottom. And the top is 1.7 by, or 1.5 by 7. So 1.5 by 7. 7 times 5 is 35. Carry a 3. 7 times 1 is 7 plus 3 is 10. And I've got to move it over 1 decimal place. So 10.5. And I have a top and a bottom. So I have to double all of these. So 10.5, if I double it, it becomes 21. 9.3, if I double it, it becomes 18.6. And 43.4, if I double it, let me do that up here. Wow, I'm really running out of room on this one. 43.4 and 43.4. I line up my decimals. 8, 6, 8 is 86.8. So 86.8 and 21 is 107, and 107 and 18. So no, I don't get 130.2. Hopefully I didn't do something wrong, but I'll come back and double check that. But I'm pretty sure I did everything right. Let's make sure. 4, 34, 6. I did do something wrong. Okay, I made an error somewhere. 34 and 34. Let's see. 6. No. Yeah, I did make an error somewhere. Okay, let's do this correctly. So 43.4 is 86.8, and then 18.6. Yeah, no, maybe I didn't. I think I got it right. And 21. So we're going to get 0.4. And they have 0.2, so I know that answer's wrong. Now let's just make sure I didn't make a math error. That'll be 0. The sides, 6.2 times 1.5. Where did I do that? 6.2 times 1.5. Let me do that again. 6.2 times 1.5. 0, carry a 1. 31. 2. 6. 63. 6.3. Oh, and I got 9.3. It should have been 6.3. So that should be 12. Hopefully you guys caught my mistake. I don't know how I got 9. 12.3. So 12. This was 12. Then I'd have 8, 9, 10, 0. Yeah. Carry it. 9. I still don't get 132. So I'm sticking with faults and going to move on. Hopefully I haven't confused you guys. Whoops. Number 6. The diameter of a cylinder is always twice the radius. Well, let's think about that for a minute. Now my pen's not working. There we go. Hit pen. The diameter of a cylinder is always twice the radius. Well, that's true, because there's the diameter. Diameter is a straight line across a circle that goes through the center, even though my picture isn't good. And a radius is half of that. So yeah, the diameter is always twice the radius. That's true. Which of the following figures has one polygon-shaped base? Which of the following figures has one polygon-shaped base? So a cylinder has a circular base. A cone has a circular base, or just a point. A pyramid can have a triangle or a square, or yeah, it can have a polygon. And a prism can have, which of the following has, a prism has two polygon shaped bases. A pyramid only has one. So that's the difference. A pyramid has one polygon base. There's my pyramid. Not very good, but let me try it a different way. Still not very good. So it has one polygon base, but the top is a point. Whereas a prism, that's just a box. So it has a polygon base on the top and the bottom. So the answer is pyramid. Identify the following figure. Okay, well, I can do that. Let me make sure my pen's working. And I don't know where we are right now. See if I can get back to today's problem. Okay, I think I'm back. Sometimes my computer doesn't like this. My computer doesn't like doing math. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a pentagon, and it's a pyramid. It's a pentagon. Hex is 6. Pent is 5. So it's a pentagon, and it's a pyramid. Okay, so let's go down a little bit further. Number 9. I'm going to quit doing that because every time I do that, my pen stops working. Okay, so if I fold this up, it's going to fold into a cube. And, yep, that's all I'm going to tell you guys. It's going to fold into a cube, not a pyramid. There's no way to make a point out of that. And now it looks like we have a cylinder, a pop can. If you cut a pop can out so it's all flat. And find the surface area of the, I'm going to call it a cylinder, but okay. So the following, and that, okay, so here's the surface areas of the top and the bottom, the two round parts. So I'm just going to add them all together. And I'm just going to do a shortcut. 28, first I'm going to estimate my answer. 28 plus 28 plus 75. And since all the numbers are bigger than the numbers I'm using, I know my answer will be a little small. So 8 and 8 is 16 plus 5 is 21. Uh-oh. Battery's running low. See if I can finish this in time. That's my goal. I didn't bring my power cord. So 21, and 2 and 2 and 2 is 6, and 7 is 13. So I'm looking for a number a little bit bigger than 131. And there's a couple of them, but this is quite a bit bigger. But here's 131.88.88. And if I added 0.26 plus 0.36 plus 0.26, that would give me 88. So that's my answer. And we'll go on to number 11. Find the volume of the solid figure it represents. Find the volume. Oh, I guess we're talking about that cylinder. So to find the volume of the cylinder, it's the height, which looks to be 4, times the area. So the volume, and this turned off again, the volume here is going to be, the volume will equal the height times the area times 28.26. The area of the base. So the volume is base times height, right? The area of the base times the height. So 4 times 28.26. So 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 2, carry a 2. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 that I carried is 10. Carry the 1. 4 times 8 is 32, plus 1 is 33. Carry a 3. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11. and move it over 2 spots because I got 2 decimal places. So I'm thinking the volume is going to be 113.04. And there it is, 113.04. I'm racing to finish this before my computer dies. That's number 11. Volume is this base times height. And so the area of the base times the height. That's what we did. What is the volume of a rectangular prism? So we got a prism. There's my prism. And length is 8. Width is 13. And height is 10.5. So the volume is this. The area of the base is going to be 13 times 8 times the height. So 13 times 8, or some people think of it as length times width times height. We're going to multiply everything together, but I like breaking it up. 8 times 3 is 24, carry the 2, 8 times 1 is 8. So I end up with 104, and now I'm going to multiply that by 100 or 105, the height. 104 times, well, 10.5. 0, carry a 2. 5 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is 2. 5 times 1 is 5. Space holder, 0, 0. 2 space holders, 4, 0, 1. So 0, 2, 9, 0, 1. Boy, my pen is barely working. Okay, and I'm moving it over 1 decimal place. So the volume is 1,092. Got it. And we're moving on to our last 3. And let's hope my pen keeps working. The dimensions of a prism in question 12 are doubled. What's the new volume? Well, if the dimensions are doubled, remember what happens? They're going to increase by, well, let's just see. Let's go back to, let's go 1 by 1 by 1, and then we go 2 by 2 by 2. This would be 1 times 1 times 1. So the volume would be 1, 2, and we double it, so it's 2 by 2 by 2. 2 times 2. Yeah, they're going to increase by, it's going to be 8 times bigger. So I take this number and multiply it times 8. Because it's going to be 8 times bigger. And I know that 8 times 1,000 is 8,000. And so there's only one answer that it could be. But it's, if you double, it's going to be 2 cubed, and 2 cubed is 8. Just like in the first one of those early problems we increased it by 5, so it's 5 cubed, or it increased by 125. What's the surface area of the following figure? Okay, so first let's count our surfaces. We have this, the front, we have the bottom, we have the 2 sides, these are both going to be the same, and we have a back. So let's figure out, those are the surfaces we have to figure out. So I'm going to start with the bottom, and I'll put a B over here. The bottom is going to be 12 times 15. 12 times 15. 12 by 15. 0, carry a 1, 5, plus 1, 6, 2, 1. So I get 180. The area of the bottom is 180. Let's do the sides now. It's a triangle, and the area of a triangle is 1/2. Area equals 1/2 base, or yeah, base times height. And the base is 12, and the height is 5. So 1/2 times 12 is 6. 6 times 5 is 30. So the side is 30, but I have 2 sides, so I'm going to double that. And so the sides are going to be 60. It's 30 and 30 is 60. So now I need to get the back. The back is 13 by 5. So 13 times 5. And that's going to be 5, carry a 1, 5, 65. So the back, let's use something, I'll put R for rear, because we already got a B up there, is 65. And now we just have to figure out this front, and the front is 15 by 13. 15 by 13, and that's 5, carry a 1, 4, space holder, 5, 1, 195. 5 for the front. And now I'm going to add all those together. 60 and 65 is 125. 125 and 180 is 205. So I'm going to write that right here, 205. And now 5 and 5 is 0, carry a 1. 9 and 1 is 0, carry a 1. I get 400. And it's not an answer choice. What did we do wrong? 60, 13. I'm pretty sure that's 13. So 13 times 15, 5, carry a 1. 5, carry a 1, 45, 5, 195. I got that. The back, oh, the back is 15 by 5. The back is 15 by 5, not 13 by 5. This is 15. That's where my mistake. This 13 goes to that side. So 15 times 5, 5, carry a 2, 7, is 75. So we got to add 10 to that. The back is 15 by 5, 75. So the rear is 75. That's 135. The two sides are 60, 135. 135 and 80 is 5, 1 is 2, 210, 0, 1. So now we're up to 410. What other area did I make a mistake in? Oh my gosh, 15 times 12. Maybe I need to redo that. 15, the base. Did I do the base anywhere? Oh, 15 times 12, I got 180. 0, carry 1, 6, 2, 1, 100. Yeah, so that's 180. The back is 75. And 180 and 75, and our two sides are 30 and 30, which is 60. And our top is 15 by 13. And 15 by 13 is 195. So let's add them up again. 180, surface area. Okay, 180, 60, so that's 240. I'm just going to add them this way. Plus 75 is 315. Plus 195. 0, 1. I get 410 again. So I don't know what's going on here. I'll have to check this one. Okay. So they have 510, but oh, did I have to? I didn't carry my 1. It is 510. Right here, 1 and 1 and 9's 11. Carry a 1, 510. Sorry, you guys. 510. Make sure you get that right, unlike me. I'm trying to rush because my computer's dying. What's the volume? Okay, volume will be base times height by 1/2. Because we could pretend if this was a full square, this would be base times height, but we're only doing half. So the volume is just going to be the 1/2 base times height. And the base is 15 times 12. 15 times 12. And didn't we do that already? Let me do it again, because my math. 0, 1, 6, 2, 1. 180. So 180 times 5, 0, 40, 0. Here we have 4. Is 900. And then half of that, so 1/2 base, 180, height, 5. 1/2 times base times height is volume of a triangular prism. And there it is. All right, we made it without the computer dying. Thanks, you guys.